Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, visualizing, affirming, believing, but nothing really changes in your life? Maybe you've tried using the law of attraction, repeating positive phrases in front of the mirror, or even creating that super detailed vision board full of dream life images. But for some reason, everything stays the same. Do you know why? Because the key isn't just in what you think. Occasionally it's in the mental programming that runs your mind every single day, automatically, without you realizing it. In this video, you're going to learn how to reprogram your mind consciously in 3 simple steps to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with what you truly want to attract. This isn't just another Think Positive video, hoping the universe takes care of the rest. It's about mastering your mental focus and learning how to spot real opportunities in your daily life. So stay until the end, because what you're about to learn might be the turning point you've been waiting for. Before diving into the 3 steps, let us bring in one of the most powerful names when it comes to the law of attraction, Bob Proctor. You might know him from the documentary The Secret. But what you might not know is that Proctor spent over 50 years studying the human mind, the power of thought, and how our emotional vibrations attract everything we experience. He used to say something powerful: you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. That sentence changes everything. It's not enough to want something. You have to become the kind of person who already lives what you desire. And that's exactly what we are going to do here. Transform your internal vibration so that it becomes a magnet for the opportunities, people, and experiences you actually want. The first step is to understand that your mind works through repetition. Everything you believe today about money, love, success, self-worth was learned at some point in your life, often without you realizing it. It came from things people said, experiences you had, fears you absorbed. And all that information got stored in your subconscious, creating an internal code that drives your decisions. It's like an invisible program running in the background. The problem is, if that code is aligned with scarcity, fear, or insecurity, it doesn't matter how badly you want an abundant life, your mind will sabotage you on autopilot. Bob Proctor taught that your conscious mind chooses thoughts, but it's your subconscious that controls your results. Reprogramming means replacing that old code with a new one. And to do that, you need to repeat, with intention, new mental patterns until they become your new normal. Step 2 is to align emotion with thought, because it's not enough to just say, I am abundant. If deep down you feel like you're not, then your feelings win. Your brain believes what you feel, not what you say. And that's where most people fail. They say positive things, but vibrate fear, doubt, or frustration. The secret is to create an emotional state that matches what you want to attract. Bob Proctor emphasized the concept of vibration. Every thought carries a frequency, and that frequency attracts a matching reality. One powerful technique is sensory visualization. Don't just imagine the scene, use all your senses. The smell, the sound, the texture, the temperature. If you want a new job, for example, close your eyes and feel what it would be like to wake up in that new lifestyle. Picture the commute, the conversations, the clothes you'd wear. The more real it becomes in your mind, the stronger the signal you send to your subconscious end. It starts to believe it's already true. Step 3 is to act as if. And this is where most people get lost. Acting as if doesn't mean pretending, it means behaving, thinking, and deciding like someone who already lives the life you want. This activates something called internal congruence. When your actions align with your intentions, your brain understands that this path is safe, possible, and legit. It starts shifting energy, attention, and behavior in that direction. Bob Proctor used to say the secret isn't just to want, but to become the version of yourself that already has it. If you want to be more confident, start speaking up, even when you're scared. If you want more financial abundance, treat the money you already have with care, no matter how small. Action reinforces belief, and belief drives action. Repeat that cycle consistently, and everything changes. Don't wait to feel ready to act to feel ready. A lot of people think the law of attraction is mystical or only works for believers. But neuroscience shows that the way you think literally shapes your brain. There is something called the reticular activating system. It works like an internal filter that chooses what you pay attention to. When you start repeating new mental patterns, this filter changes. Suddenly, you start noticing opportunities you used to ignore. That's not coincidence, it's science. Your brain learns through repetition and emotion. That's why when you repeat intentions with feeling, you build new neural connections. Over time, these connections create new habits, attitudes, and results. Bob Proctor always said the universe responds to clarity and consistency. Reprogramming your mind means retraining your brain to perceive and attract new realities. This moves manifestation out of the magical thinking zone and into a space of practical, measurable change. Even knowing what to do, we often sabotage ourselves. Procrastination, fear of not being good enough. Clinging to the past, all of these are subtle forms of self-sabotage. Why? Because your brain prefers what's familiar over what's unknown, even if what's familiar is painful. Your subconscious believes it's keeping you safe, so when you try to change, it pulls you back. The solution isn't to fight it, but to retrain it with safety and consistency. Instead of taking huge leaps and freezing, take small, doable steps. Celebrate every bit of progress. Self-sabotage weakens when you create an inner environment of trust and growth. Here is a simple trick. Create a mental emergency plan for when that sabotaging voice shows up. It could be a phrase, a gesture, or a deep breath. The point is to interrupt the cycle early before it takes over. Let's get practical. Imagine a young woman named Anna who dreams of living off her art but feels stuck. She writes on a piece of paper, "I live off my art with freedom and abundance." She sticks it on her mirror and starts visualizing it every night. At first, it feels silly. But after a while, something shifts. She feels more confident. Ideas come. She starts filming videos, opens a small online shop. 2 months later, she gets her first payment. That boosts her. She keeps going. Today, she lives from her art. Reprogramming your mind isn't a miracle, it's the result of small, intentional actions done consistently. The key here is conscious persistence. If it feels like nothing is changing, keep going. Because transformation doesn't come from what you do occasionally, but from what you do daily, even when you don't feel like it. Now that you understand the power of the mental code, it's time to strengthen it with daily practices. Here are 3 practical tools. Manifestation journal, re-day. Write down 3 things you're grateful for and 1 thing you desire, as if you already have it. This rewires your perception. Positive alarm set random reminders on your phone with affirmations, like, "I received the best life has to offer," or "everything is aligning in my favor." That automatic reinforcement is powerful. Physical anchoring link, a powerful emotion to a gesture like pressing your fingers together, placing your hand on your heart, or taking a deep breath. Whenever you want to reconnect with your code, use that gesture. Over time, your mind will learn to enter that state more easily. These simple tools, when used with intention, multiply the effects of reprogramming. Maybe you're hearing all this and thinking, "Okay, but what if I do everything and it still doesn't work?" That doubt is common. And here's the answer. Keep going, but adjust. If nothing's working, maybe you're stuck in a rigid expectation. Maybe you're looking outside for a sign, but forgetting to look within. Sometimes, the universe responds in ways you don't expect, but it does respond. A delay can be protection. A no can be redirection. What makes the difference is how you interpret it. If you see a challenge as a block, you stop. If you see it as a test, you grow. Reprogramming your mind requires resilience, trust, and openness. When nothing seems to work, go back to the basics. Breathe, reconnect, write your intention again. Consistency in the face of doubt is what separates wishful thinking from true manifestation. If you've made it this far, you now understand that the real power of the law of attraction, docility, come from waiting for the universe to act. It comes from becoming someone who vibrates and acts at the frequency of what they want. Like Bob Proctor used to say, you are the only problem you'll ever have, and you are the only solution. When you take control of your mental code, everything starts to shift your choices, your emotions, your relationships, even the opportunities that appear around you. Mental reprogramming is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. And now that you know how to cross it, the decision is yours. You can keep repeating the past, or you can choose, starting today, to install a new version of yourself. A version that's more aligned, more conscious, more powerful. And it all starts with one thought, the right thought, repeated with emotion and followed by action. So take a deep breath, write down your new reality, and start today. Because your new future is already waiting for you. And I liked this video. Subscribe, like, and share this video. See you in the next video.